Here we have a 2007 Bentley Continental GTC. What we're doing, we're going to do a head unit swap. So we're going to put a brand new stereo into this vehicle. What it has its own original stereo, which has a SatNav system and what have you, but being a 2007 car, you can imagine all of it is very outdated. So what I'm going to do is just show you what we have at the moment and then show you how we're going to go ahead and proceed with this job. So I'd like to jump in the passenger seat. Right, so this is the standard stereo. So if I actually turn it on, just loads and loads of beeps. So let's turn the volume down. So as you can see, it starts up with a little Bentley thing. It's quite a small screen. It's fully spec'd up from the day that it was installed, but obviously after all these years, it's a little bit old now. So this navigation system, as you can see, is absolutely ancient, and probably half the roads doesn't even recognise anymore with all the changes. So if you actually have a look at what this radio is, it has all the heater controls up here. So all the display comes onto the screen, and all the controls there is to do with the stereo, and down here as well. So all of that has to do with the stereo. So it's not as straightforward as just replacing this and putting a stereo into it. The issue that we have is that all the heater control system is all linked up with the stereo, and then you have all of these two bits as well. But we do have a solution for this, and it's specifically designed for this Bentley. It's called a Ben Hur system. And what it does, it replaces all of this and gives its own display screen for the heater controls and gives you separate heater controls, as well as then giving us the ability to fit an aftermarket stereo into this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack on with that and then show you the finished product. Right, this is the original Bentley stereo, as you can see. As I mentioned before, you had all like the heater controls and various bits and pieces to control the car functionality. It's all embedded with the stereo, and it is one piece. It's just one big unit. So you can't just replace this little bit here and say, right, okay, that's a new stereo. It's not physically possible. But the solution is using a system called the Ben Hur, and it's an integrated system. So if you have a look, this is where it is. So the walnut finish still remains the same, but where this bit, that bit and that bit is all different. So now this gives you the capability to adjust the heater controls and the heated seats, etc., which is now taken away from the actual stereo. So as you can see, the slots from here, that's basically how that works. It's again one unit but in three sections, and giving us the ability to fit an aftermarket stereo in there. Now this customer's opted for the Kenwood DNX 7190 DABs, which is basically a touchscreen stereo that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, this particular model. It has got a built-in CD player as well, so it's got a motorised front, so so you can flick the actual screen down and put a CD slot in it. It has built-in SatNav, so you don't need to use your phone data to actually get navigation system. The navigation Kenwood uses Garmin, so it's on a Garmin platform, and obviously it has DAB and radio to go with it. So if I just turn the ignition on, so that's the stereo powering up, that's this whole unit powering up, and now this is where you could adjust the temperature and what have you on your heater controls. But this is the only solution that you'll get to be able to fit an aftermarket stereo in a Bentley. So we just wait for it to load up. The steering wheel controls all works, it's all part of this kit, so it's all part of the interface. So that all still works. And because it's wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, I'll just plug my phone into it just to show you that side of it. So we're going to home, go to Apple CarPlay, you've got Apple CarPlay. So you can use Google Maps via this, you can still do that. all ways, which has become a very popular mapping system. And if you go into home, this is where you could then go into different aspect, normal radio, go into DAB, and then if you want to go into SatNav, which is the Garmin format, you could go onto that and just do everything on the screen. Like I said to you before, it has got a CD player, so you could eject that and put your CD slot in there. And that's that. You could also tilt this screen, so if you wanted to have it like in a certain angle, you could just go into there and then it sits on that angle. On the fascia of this Bentley, it just makes sense having it flat. Some dashes that have a slight different angle, and it's sometimes good to have it angled off. You could even like tilt it, the actual viewing angle. But we just keep that on default because that just works better for this car. So that's how you get an aftermarket stereo to work on this Bentley. So there is a solution. So if you do find it a little bit outdated and you want something that's a little bit more modern and gives you the modern functionality of what a modern car would want, that you'd want, we do have a solution for it. So this is it. This is the solution. Stereo-wise, it doesn't have to be this Kenwood stereo. There's a choice of stereos that we sell, and you could go for any of those choice of stereos. This customer in particular wanted this stereo, hence why we got this on this car. So there you have it. This is a 2007 Bentley Continental GTC, and we fitted a Ben Hur system with a Kenwood stereo.